Hey there, everybody. Welcome to another Dynamite Baseball game here in 1949. It is April 28th, 1949, and we have the undefeated Pittsburgh Pirates at the St. Louis Cardinals. The Pirates are 8-0, the Cardinals 4-4. And it is a rainy day here at Sportsman's Park in St. Louis, and it's also rainy for me here in real life as Wally Junis takes a strike, hits the next pitch over to Stan Musial in right field for the first out. Here comes Wally Westlake. And Westlake takes the ball outside. Want to know the count on him facing Red Munger, and it's a 1-1 count now on him. There's a ground ball over to the right side. Red Schoendienst makes the play at second over to first base for the out. And here is Ralph Kiner, and Kiner comes in there hitting .367 with the 6 home runs. Hits a base hit, first ball swinging, and gets that base hit, and he's on at first base. And here's Pete Castiglione. And he hits one past first base, the Pirates' first ball hitting here, and that sends Kiner over to third. Man, Ralph Kiner, what a player, 1949. And here's Clyde McCulloch now. Runners on first and third, 2 outs here, top of the first inning. This game just underway. And here's McCulloch swinging and missing at the first pitch for a strike. And that's hit hard and high and foul down the left field line. I thought that was going to be out of here. 0-2 now to McCulloch. Takes the ball, 1-2. There's one low, 2-2 now. That's fouled off. Still 2-2 the count. Red comes in, little ground ball over to shortstop. It's actually a line drive, and Castiglione takes it himself, and that's that. Or not Castiglione, Marion. And we have Enos Slaughter coming up here now in the bottom of the first inning, and he takes the ball. Now he hits a pop fly over. Castiglione's got that on the left side. First out of the inning, and here is Eddie Kozak, takes a strike, and there's a ball, 1-1 the count. Swings and misses at a strike, 1-2, and there's a ball hit over to right center field, and that one drops in front of Westlake, and Kozak has got a base hit, and he's the runner on first base for Stan Musial. Musial takes one ball off the plate, and there is a little bit of nothing. There was a throw to first base. I think it was. It was a bad throw, but they knocked that one down. There's a foul ball, 1-1 now the count, and it's 1-2 on Stan. And there's a little ground ball over to first base, and first base side. Chambers grabs it, throws over to Hop at first, and Kozak moves up to second. We have 2-away runner on second for St. Louis. Nippy Jones up there takes the ball, and then he takes his fastball for a strike, 1-1. Takes one high, 2-1 the count on Jones. That one's fouled back, 2-2. There's a little fly ball over to Kiner in left field, and that does it. We go to the top of the second inning. And here is Monty Pascal, who has had his struggles here so far offensively this season. 1-1 the pitch on him. Now it's 2-1, hitting .261. There's one he chases outside, 2-2 the count. And there's a breaking ball outside. He watches that 3-2 now, full count, and he fouls one away. And there's a breaking ball, and he swings and misses and goes fishing for that one. And that's the first out here. And Eddie Bachman comes up there. Bachman, who is getting the start. I had to do some switching around here for Pittsburgh as their shortstop, who I forgot who it was, is no longer on the roster, either injured or traded. I had to do some research. Should have done that before the game. And Bachman comes up and promptly hits a double over there to right center field. That brings up Johnny Hopp now with one out here, top of the second inning. And Hop rips one over to right center field, and that is caught by Deering, and that sends Bachman over to third base, although with 2 outs. Here's Cliff Chambers. 2 outs, you're not going to see any bunts or anything weird happening here. And that Bachman is pretty fast. I probably should have hit him leadoff. And the pitcher there, Chambers, hits a little fly ball over to left field. Slaughter's got it for the out, and that does that. We go to the bottom of the second. Here is Marty Marion, and he hits the ball over there to Bachman at third base. He can stop it, but can't do anything more with it. That's a base hit for Marion. And here's Red Schoendienst, and the Cardinals are threatening again. Red takes the ball. There's a double play ball to third base. Bachman to Pascal, over to Hop at first, and they double them up. And Bachman, he makes up for giving up that base hit. And here's Chuck Deering, nobody on. Ground ball to Bachman at third, throws over to first for the out. We go to the top of the third inning, 0-0. Here's Wally Junitz, and he hits a base hit over to center field that drops in front of Deering. Here comes the next Wally Westlake with a runner on first base, nobody out. And Westlake bunts over to third, gets it down there to Kozak. He looks to second, no play there, goes to Jones at first. Junitz moves up to second, and here is Ralph Kiner, and this is where the Pirates have been doing their damage. And there's a strike in there to Ralph. And that's a little ground ball over to Marion at shortstop. And Kiner not only is not able to hit the ball in the air, but he's not able to move the runner over. And that brings up Castiglione with 2 outs now and runner on second base. 0-2 now the count on Castiglione. And there's a ball in under the hands, 1-2. There's a little ground ball over to Kozak, whose throw to first is in the dirt, but it is pulled out there by Nippy Jones. And we go to the bottom of the third inning, 0-0 still. Here's Joe Garagiola. He takes the ball. And there's another one off the plate. 2-0 the count now to Garagiola, and there's a fastball in there for a strike. And that one's hit down to into a foul territory on the left side. Castiglione dives for it, unable to get it. 2-2 now the count. Full count now on Garagiola. There's a high chopper over to Bascal, and he gets it to second base, fires over to first base for the out, and there's one away. And here's Red Munger, the pitcher for the Cardinals. 2-0 now the count on him, and there's a curveball that has him bailing out of there, 2-1. And he swings and misses a 1-2-2, and count remains 2-2. And that swung on a missed, and Munger's out of here, 2 away. And here's Enos Slaughter. And Slaughter rocks one to the alley, right center field, and that is up there, out there, and gone, baby, for a home run. 1-0 Cardinals here at bottom of the third inning as Slaughter's able to get one on the board finally. And here's Eddie Kozak takes a strike, and that was another strike at the knees. He's taking 2 pitches, 2 strikes, and that was 1-2 is the count. And he swings and fouls one off, and there's a little roller over there to Johnny Hopp, takes himself at first base for the out. But the Cardinals do their damage, and it is 1-0 Cardinals, top of the fourth inning. Here's Clyde McCulloch, and takes a strike. That one's low for a ball. 1-1 the count now. And there's an easy fly ball over to right field. That one's there from usual. 1 away, top of the fourth inning. 1-0 Cardinals. And here's Monte Bascal now. Takes a ball. There's another ball on him. 2-0 now the count. And there's a bouncer over to the right side. Schoendienst has it. Throws over to Jones at first for the out. 2 away. And here's Eddie Bachman. Bachman up there again. And there's a ball to him. 1-0 the count. Now it's 2-0. And there's one that misses again. 3-0. Red's having a hard time with his control. That one's in there for a strike. 3-1. And there's Bachman's out in front of that changeup, full count now. Bachman just barely able to foul that one off. There's a high fly ball over to right center field, and it's going to be Musial making the catch. We go to the bottom of the fourth inning. And Stan Musial comes up there and promptly smacks a base hit and winds up as the runner on first base. Nobody out here, and here's Nippy Jones, and we're going to run quickly with Musial. Let's see what happens. And Jones fouls that one back to the screen. And lines another one foul, 0-2 the count now, and it's 1-2. We're taking that hit and run off, of course. 2-2 now the count. There's a little tapper over to third base, and it was it Bachman or Castiglione? It was Chambers actually made the play. Probably should have let Bachman take it and unable to make the play at first base, and that puts runners on first and second for the Cardinals with Marty Marion coming up here. There's 1-0 game. We'll have Marion swing away. I think I had a little bit of a thought of bunting, but I think we'll let him swing away here. It's 1-1 is the count now on Marty. And there's a fastball inside. 2-1 is the count. He crushes one, but foul. 2-2, and it is still 2-2. And there's one foul to the plate. 2-2 is the count still. They go inside and miss, and it's a full count. And there's a little fastball in the air to Kiner at left field, and there's one away. And there's a ground ball up the middle from the next batter, Red Schoendienst, and that goes over to center field. And Musial scores without a throw, and the question is, can Jones make it to third or not? And we are going to try for it with one out. They say you never want to make the second out at third base, but we just got out of doing that. Jones makes it to third safely, and then puts runners on first and third here for Chuck Deering. And the Pirates are in trouble here. Here's Chuck Deering. Swing and a miss to him. Deering hitting in the number 7 position, hitting only 121 this season, not hitting much at all. And it's a 2-1 count on Chuck. And that misses high. 3-1 now in Deering. And there's a full count as that's a strike. Full count remains as that one was fouled off. And Chambers has just walked Deering. And that brings up Joe Garagiola. Garagiola hitting .417 this season, but he's not playing every day. He is the backup catcher. 2-0 now the count on Garagiola. There's a little ground ball over to Castiglione at short. He flips over to second to Bascal for 1. Back over to Hop at first for the double play, and that gets the Pirates out of that inning. Cardinals leave the bases loaded, and it is 2-0 Cardinals going to the top of the fifth. And here is Johnny Hop. Johnny Hop, as I think I mentioned, is hitting 8th because of that poor showing by him. He was, I think, hitting first. And there's a base hit from Johnny Hop, who's trying to show me that he belongs a little bit further up there in the lineup. That brings up the pitcher, Cliff Chambers, showing bunt, misses that pitch. Bunts again, and it's bunted down over to Kozak, and Chambers ends up at first base. Runners on first and second. Chambers is credited for the sacrifice. Kozak gets the air, and that brings up Wally Judnich now. Runners on first and second, nobody out, top of the fifth inning. The Pirates are coming. Here is Wally, and there's one low. 1-2 so far today for Wally. And there's a ground ball over to Schoendienst, and he goes in the hole and gets it and makes the play at first base, but the runners both move up, and that brings up Wally Westlake with one out here and runners on second and third. And What do we do? The question here is, do we intentionally walk Westlake to pitch to Kiner? You're going to pitch to Kiner no matter what. We're going to pitch to Westlake first. And there's a chopper over to second, and Hop is going home, and it's Schoendienst who has it. We're going to throw home and try to cut this play off. And he's safe at the plate. Hop is safe at the plate, and the score is now 2-1. Cardinals. The Pirates are starting to come back in this one, and the light rain is beginning to fall here at Sportsman's Park, and we'll see what sort of havoc that one will wreak on this game. That was sort of a 50-50 play, I think. And I looked at Schoendienst and I thought, well, he's got an arm. We might as well try for this play at the plate and see if we can get something to happen. And unfortunately, it was just a little bit late, and that means that there's runners on first and third now with only one out. And good play by Wally Westlake to cut the Cardinals' margin down to 1 run. And that might end up being a crucial play in this ball game. And here's Ralph Kiner now with runners in first and third, and he can blow this one open if he wants to. And he hits it deep to Slaughter in left field, who's got it for the out. And we're going to try to throw home and see if we can get this potential tying run. And they got him at the plate. Garagiola has the plate completely blocked. There's nowhere to go. And man, oh man. And Kiner was just out in front of that one, and you really want to see him maybe take a pitch or two instead of swinging at the first pitch all the time like that. I know that he's a little home run happy, but in this particular situation, it would have been nice if Kiner had sort of waited for his pitch instead of getting excited about that first one that he saw. And that means the score now is 2-1 Cardinals going to the bottom of the 5th inning, and this game's been exciting already. And here's Red Munger, again, the pitcher. And the count on him now is 2-1. There's a ground ball to the left side. Castiglione has it. Goes over to first for the out. Here's Enos Slaughter. Slaughter takes a strike. 0-1 the count now on him. And he hits one over to right center field. And Westlake running for it and is able to make the catch. 2 away. And here's Eddie Kozak. And there's a strike to him. 0-1 the count. And there's a ground ball to Castiglione. Makes the play at first base. And that does it for that inning. And boy, Red Munger is taken out of this ball game after this rain delay. So don't you love simulated baseball? We had a 62-minute rain delay, and it's going to take you probably about 5 seconds here of video time. Munger has to come out. He cannot continue. And we're looking at either Jim Hearn or Ken Johnson. We're going to go with Jim Hearn. We're going with Jim Hearn because he's got the better fatigue rating as we're looking, or the duration rating as we're looking at comparing pitchers. It's going to be Jim Hearn's first appearance here in 1949, and he's pitching to Pete Castiglione. Misses with the first 2-0 now the count on Castiglione. There's a good sinker, 2-1 now the count, and that one's wide, 3-1. That's fouled back, full count now on Castiglione, and there's a little one hopper over to Schoendienst, and he makes the play at first, 1 out. And here is McCulloch coming up now. 2-0 the count on him. Hearn having some problems with his control, and it's a 3-0 count now on McCulloch. That's in there for a strike, 3-1 now the count. There's a swing and a miss, full count now on him, and there's a liner in front of Musial for a base hit. McCulloch, who is fast, is the runner on first base. There's Monty Pascal, and we know that Monty's had a hard time hitting. He takes a ball. There's one foul back, 1-1 the count now on Monty, and it's 2-1 now on him. And that one's fouled straight back, 2-2 now the pitch. And there's one outside, full count again. Hearn having a hard time with that control. There's one fouled back. There's a line drive over and off the glove of Schoendienst, and he slows that one up enough for McCulloch to make it over to third base. And the Cardinals are really starting to fall apart here. Top of the 6th inning, 1 out only, and there are runners, Pirates on first and third. And that's going to bring up Eddie Bachman. And Bachman has had a real interesting game so far, I tell you. He's been hitting fairly well. And all of the Pirates really have been doing a fairly good job so far in this replay. But Bachman especially has been hitting well, at least of late. 1 for 2 in this game. Hits one down the first base line past Jones. He can't get it, and that scores one. Pascal goes over to third base. That's a double for Bachman's first pitch swinging. And that's the way that the Pirates have come up here hitting against the Cardinals today. Swinging at that first pitch, it's a 2-2 ball game. And I was going to say, back in the beginning of this one, that you've got to be careful before you start thinking that the Pirates' winning streak is going to come to a close, because they've been down before, and they have this real sort of aggravating tendency to come back. They're not the sort of team that just sort of sits back and rests and doesn't work so hard when they're behind. 2-0 now the pitch on Johnny Hop. swinging a high hopper to first base. Pascal goes home, and Jones has got to throw home to try to stop that go-ahead run from scoring, and he is safe at the plate. Pascal is safe at the plate, taking a huge risk. That means the Hop makes it to first base on the fielder's choice. Bachman over to third, 3-2 Pirates now, and that was a huge, huge play. What a decision! What a heads-up base running decision there by Pascal. This is an exciting game that keeps getting better and better. And that brings up Cliff Chambers. I'm about to call him Tom Chambers. Wrong sport. Cliff Chambers comes up here. He grounds one over to second base on that sinker. That's why you like that sinker ball pitcher. And we are going to try to go for the double play. Schoendienst over to second, and Chambers is able to beat it out, and that scores the run. 4-2 Pirates now. And man, oh man, this game... And this happens so often. This game just, it will break your heart, won't you? You think that you know what you're doing. You think that you're making the right decision. And something like that happens, and it's 4-2. Next thing you know, and the Cardinals have blown the lead. Here's Wally Judnich now, and that rain delay really caused some havoc, didn't it? 1-1 now the pitch on Judnich, and it's 2-1. And that one missed again. 3-1 now the count. There's a ground ball over to third base. Kozak takes it the easy way to second for the out. 3-run score for the Pirates there in the top of the sixth. We go to the bottom of the sixth. It's 4-2 Pirates, and here comes Stan Musial. See if Musial can get a hold of one. No, he just hits one down to Bachman at third base, who makes the play at first. 1 out. Here's Nippy Jones, and there's a strike to him. 0-1 the count on Nippy, and there's a foul ball. 0-2 now the count. And that's hit down to Pascal at second base, 2 away, and here comes Marty Marion, and he swings and misses a 1 for a strike, and there's a ball. 1-1 the count. And there's a fly ball over there to Judnich in center field, makes the play. And just like that, we go to the top of the seventh inning, 4-2 Pirates. There's Wally Westlake, and he takes a ball, 1-0 the count now, and watches one in the dirt, 2-0. And there's another sinker, 3-0. Hearn misses again and ends up walking Westlake, and he's got to be careful because here comes Ralph Kiner, who is the man that we see in our nightmares. There's a ball to Kiner, 1-0 the count. And that one sunk down, 2-0. There's a biting slider in there for a strike, 2-1. You better make sure that slider doesn't go high, though. And that one's far too low, 3-1 the count. And man, oh man, you knew this was going to happen. You knew it was going to happen. There's a hanger, and Ralph Kiner crushes this one way up into the left field bleachers. 7th home run of the season for Ralph Kiner. 6-2 Pirates. And man, I tell you, this comeback has been sweet, hasn't it? And you knew that was going to happen. You knew that Ralph Kiner, if you got behind him in the count, you knew that you were going to have to go in there on with one. And it is 6-2 Pirates. And this is not going St. Louis's way. They're having a hard time at the beginning of this season. And there's 2 straight balls there to Castiglione. And Garagiola is feeling pretty upset there behind the plate. 2-1 now the count on him. And there is a single by Castiglione. And this is going to be about it. I'm just going to take a quick look. Hearn's spot might come up the next inning, but we don't care anymore. We're going to find somebody else to put in there because this is getting ridiculous, and it's going to be Ken Johnson. I think this is Johnson's first appearance. It is. Ken Johnson makes his first appearance here. Fastball and a curve, as the play-by-play tells us. Pitches to McCulloch. The first pitch is high. See if he can find the plate here. Come on, Ken. There's a wild pitch, it looks like. It is a wild pitch, and Garagiola's throw to second base is not in time. Castiglione moves up. 2-0 is the count on McCulloch. And there's one high. 3-0 now the count. And there's a strike. It looked like that was ball 4. No, that's a strike. 3-1 now the count on McCulloch. And he takes another strike. Full count on him now. And McCulloch swings and misses. Only the first out of this inning. 6-2 Pirates. And here is Monty Pascal takes a strike. And it's 1-1 now as he takes a ball. And that one's high and inside. 2-1 now the count. He pulls one over to Kozak at third base. Can't move Castiglione up. That's 2 away. Here's Eddie Bachman. And Bachman takes a ball. 1-0 now the count. Johnson pitching fairly well. 2-0. He just can't find the plate, though. 3-0 now the count. And there's a late called strike. That umpire likes Ken, huh? That one's inside. Ken doesn't get the call that time. That's his first walk given up of the season. 1 strikeout and 1 walk here in this game. Here's Johnny Hopp. Johnny Hopp takes one strike right there at the letters, and there's a line drive right to Jones at first base, and he mates the catch for the out. 2 runs, though, score for the Pirates on the big blow. The big blow by the man in left, Ralph Kiner, and it's 6-2 Pittsburgh. And here's Ren Schoendienst. He takes a strike and fouls one back, 0-2. And there's a high foul ball at the left field, just foul. And there's another foul. 0-2 still the count on Red. 1-2 now as Chambers misses, and there's a little flare over to Kiner, and Kiner unable to get that one, and we have another rain delay. And the game's delayed for 42 additional minutes. Red Schoendienst is on first base still. This game's been delayed for about 2 hours. Most of the fans have left. The field is soggy. Here's Chuck Deering. He stays away from one and tied 2-0 the count on him. Swings and misses. 2-1 now the count. Rips a fastball in the left field. Kiner unable to make the catch on that one. Schoendienst has to stay because he didn't know if Kiner was going to catch it or not. Runners now on second and third for the Cardinals. Nobody out. Here's Joe Garagiola. Garagiola is 0 for 2 today, but hitting fairly well so far this season. And there's a ball in there to him. And there's a fly ball over to Westlake in right field, and he makes the catch, and we're going to send both runners. And there's a throw to third base, and they get Deering at third, but trying to reach third base. Red Schoendienst scores, though, and it's 6-3 now Pirates. And here comes Ken Johnson, and we're not going to fool around anymore with Johnson. We're going to put Solly Hamos back in there. Solly Hamos, of course, one of my favorite men to pinch hit with, and what a great name. And there's a ball to Solly, 1-0 now the count, 2-0 now on him, hitting .333 this season, 3-0. Chambers having some problems after the rain delay, 3-1 now, and there's strike 2, full count now on him. And Hamos takes the ball high. That's only the second walk of this game for Cliff Chambers, and that brings up Enos Slaughter, and we have a chance here to make something happen. Slaughter with a base hit over the right side. Hamos is thinking about going to third. We're going to hold him, though. His run doesn't matter. The run at the plate now does. This is Eddie Kozak coming up now. 6-3 Pirates, and there's a ball high, 1-0 the count, and there's one outside, 2-0. Chambers not going to last much longer. There's a breaking ball for a strike, 2-1 the count now, and there's a high foul ball, 2-2. And there's a one-happer that goes past Bachman to third as he dives, and Hamos and Slaughter are both looking potentially to score, and Ralph Kiner's got it. We're going to send both. And there's a throw to third base. That throw is offline, and it is 6-4, and that's going to bring out Chambers and put in Vic Lombardi. And the other change we made here is Ed Stevens comes to play first base for the Pirates. 6-4 Pirates over the Cardinals. And this has been a pretty exciting game so far. 6-4, and here comes Stan Musial. Vic Lombardi better throw some strikes. There's a fastball a little bit low, 1-0, and Musial rather, loops one into right field for a base hit. And Slaughter scores, and Kozak's rounding second base. We're going to hold him there at second and play it safe. 6-5 now the score. And this game is getting more and more exciting as we go along, and we see if the Pirates can really hold on to it. The Cardinals have been have benefited from all of this rain that we've had. Because it sort of knocked Cliff Chambers out of there after this rainfall. Though he was good enough to continue pitching, you could tell the difference, and he gave up a bunch of hits and a bunch of walks, and now there's a ball in there to Nippy Jones, and there's another ball in on him, 2-0 the count, and there's a little ground ball over to Castiglione, goes over to Pascal and makes the play finally. 6-5 the score now with the Pirates in the lead, and we've got to make a pitching decision here for St. Louis, and I think we're going to put Cloyd Boyer in here. We're going to see what he can do. And so Boyer, again, also gets his first appearance here of the season. There's a strike in there to Ed Stevens, 0-1 the count. There's a ball to him, 1-1. And there's another strike, 1-2 the count. And that one's fouled away, 1-2 still. And there's a base hit to left field, right? Drops in front of Enos Slaughter, 11th hit of the game for the Pirates. Here comes Wally Judnich. And that one's inside for a ball, 1-0 now the count. There's a strike called 1-1. And that's below the kneecap, 2-1 now. And that one's fouled off, 2-2. Pitch to Judnich, and there is a ground ball over to Schoendienst, and that goes under his glove for a base hit. And that brings up Wally Westlake now, and it's a 6-5 ball game. And man, the offense today, there's been a lot of offense. There's a ball to him from Boyer, and foul ball, 1-1 the count now. And that misses lone inside, 2-1, and that's 2-2 as Westlake swings and misses, and then he's tied up on that one. He goes down on strikes. One out here, runners in first and second. Ralph Kiner, who had the big blow, comes up. And Kiner takes one high. 1-0 the count on Ralph. And there's one high and inside, 2-0. Kiner takes all the way, ducked under that one, ball 3. And the bases are loaded as Boyer cannot find the plate. Ralph Kiner walks, and that brings up Castiglione. And this is not what you want to see, is it? And there's a ball to Castiglione, 1-0 the count. There's a strike to him, 1-1. There's strike 2 now. Emergency swing, and that's a foul ball down the third base line. And there's one lined into right center field, and that's going to score three-run score on that one on Castiglione's double. It is 9-5 now, Pirates. And this outing for Boyer is not really ending well. Now, you might look at me and say, why are you using this pitcher? And I've used a couple of guys here and given them sort of their first chance. You got to use them sometime. So we decided to use them in this one. And unfortunately for the Cardinals, this hasn't quite turned out the right way for Boyer. And the question is, do we stay with him or not? And I think that we've probably seen enough. I mean, only one out in this inning. We're going to go, I think, with we'll go with Wilkes. We'll go with Wilkes here. We got to be careful. We don't want to use too many pitchers here, but he hasn't looked good at all. And here's Clyde McCulloch, and this game's turning into one of those crazy ones. Little ground ball over there to Kozak, and he throws over to first base for the out. Castiglione able to time his run to third base just right, and he makes it over there. Here's Monty Pascal again. And the count to Monty 1-1 now. And there's a swing and a miss, 1-2. And there's a sinker inside, 2-2. And there's a breaking ball, and that takes care of Pascal. He swings and misses that one by a mile. And we go to the bottom of the eighth inning, 9-5, Pittsburgh. Not without reach, though, for the Cardinals. And Marty Marion, as if he's going to prove this, promptly hits a single to lead this one off. And here comes Red Schoendienst. And we're going to swing away. No hit and run here, not behind by 4. And there's a hard line drive, and that's off the glove of Pascal. And he slows that one up enough for Marty Marion to make it to third. And we have Chuck Deering coming up, runners on first and third, nobody out. And now we're going to do a hit and run. And there's a swing and a looper over to shallow left field, and that falls in front of Kiner for a hit. And we're going to have Schoendienst hold the bag at second, and he's going to play this one conservatively, 9-6 now the score. And that brings in Hugh Casey to pitch, and Danny Murtaugh is going to come in to play second base. And it's always interesting to see these names that you know from their later managerial adventures. Danny Murtaugh coming in there to play second base. It shows how old this is. And man, I tell you, this has been one of those games. Joe Garagiola comes up here in the bottom of the eighth inning, and it's a 9-6 ball game. The Cardinals have actually out-hit the Pirates. Runners on first and second, nobody out, and he will face Hugh Casey. And Garagiola, first pitch swinging, hits a pop-up over to center field. Junich has it for the out. That brings up Ted Wilkes' spot, and we're going to pinch hit again. And I think we're going to bring in Giaviano, I think is what we're going to do. Giaviano comes into this game. Tommy Glaviano, my apologies, Glaviano. Hard to see with those little letters, what is an L and what is an I. Glaviano comes in. He's had, looks like 2 at-bats so far this season, no hits. And there's a hanging slider from Casey, 1-0 the count. And there's one hit over to the left side, over to Castiglione, to Murtaugh, and over to first base for the out, and that does that. And the Cardinals starting to run out of pitchers, and I bet you didn't think that was going to happen looking at what this lineup looked like at the beginning of the game. We're going to have Jochen come up. This is Ray Jochen is going to be the new pitcher, top of the ninth inning. And here comes Eddie Bachman. Jochen has pitched. He's gotten 1 out. That's all he's pitched. 1-1 now the count on Bachman. And Eddie swings and gets a piece of that one. 1-2. Fouls another one off. Still 1-2. And there's a ball. 2-2 now the count on him. There's one low, full count. Little bouncer over to second base. Schoendienst grabs it. Throws over to first for the out. 1 away. Danny Murtaugh comes up there now. And there's a ball and another ball on him, 2-0 the count. And there's a strike, 2-1. That one's high, 3-1 now the count on him. And Murtaugh lines that one down the first base line, and he's going to get a triple out of this one. Triple for Danny Murtaugh. Man, oh man, he runner on third base now, only 1 out here, top of the ninth inning. And there is a wild pitch there by Joachim, and Murtaugh comes in to score. And so Ed Stevens is up there now with a 10-6 lead. 2-0 the count on Stevens, and that one's fouled back 2-1. There's a ground ball over there to the right side, and Joachim grabs it and throws over to Jones just in time for the out. 2 outs here now. Wally Judnitz comes up. We've had a little bit of everything here today, including a home run from Ralph Kiner. And 1-1 now is the count on Wally. And Joachim misses again, 2-1 now, and there's one inside, 3-1, and there's ball 4. And Joachim is upset about that home plate umpire, and he better be careful. And there's a strike now to Wally Westlake and a ball, 1-1 the count. And 2-1 now is the count. Westlake is one of the few Pirates who don't have a base hit so far in this one. Westlake swings and misses, and pitch that bounces, and he's tagged out. We go to the bottom of the ninth inning. But remember Remember, this is the heart of the lineup here for St. Louis coming up, and this is a very good St. Louis team. This isn't a last place type team. 0-1 now the count to Enos Slaughter as he fouls one off. 1-1 now, and that's fouled away. 1-2 now the count on Slaughter, and that's up top to him. 2-2. Slaughter swings and misses at that one. He's gone. One away here at bottom of the ninth inning. Here's Eddie Kozak. And he drives one over to left center field. That's going to be a triple for Kozak. And how many triples have we had in this game? This has been quite impressive. But hitting a triple doesn't help you much. Even if Musial hits a home run here, it's not going to help your cause much because you're down by 4. You're down by 4, son. You got to get a little bit more than that. There's ball 1 to Stan with Kozak on third base. And Casey with the backdoor slider gets the call. 1-1 now the count on Stan. Stan the man with the foul ball. 1-2. And that one's ripped into right center. And Musial 3 for 5 today with the second RBI. Another run scores. He drives that run in, and here comes Nippy Jones. Runner on first base is Stan Musial, and Bob Muncrief is going to come on. How many pitchers have we had in this game? This has been a remarkable game. 1-0 now the pitch. Oh, man, and Nippy Jones gets into a deep one and knocks that one deep into the bleachers in left center field. No one's going to get that one, and the score now is 10-9 Pittsburgh, and the Cardinals are not quite done yet. And St. Louis has a fighting spirit. This has really been a remarkable ball game. We have had a little bit of everything in this one. And Nippy Jones with the home run, and it is 10-9, and we still have a little ways to go here, don't we? Marty Marion comes on now, 1 out, and the Cardinals just need to get a little bloop and a blast to get this game tied. And 2-0 is the count on Marion, and that one's high, 3-0, and Muncrief is needs to throw strikes, and he throws ball 4 wide of the plate, and Marty Marion is on first base. He represents the tying run in this one. 10-9 is the score, and we've had rain delays, and we've had all sorts of drama. We had a Ralph Kiner home run that I thought at the time was surely going to be the last gasp in this one, and I tell you, that Nippy Jones home run really has the crowd that remains here in Sportsman Park whooping it up. There's a throw to first base. Marion makes it back. We're not running anywhere. 0-1 now the count as Schoendienst fouls one off. There's a wasted pitch outside. 1-1 now on red. There's a foul ball over to McCulloch. 1-2 now the count. And Muncrief misses with one lone outside. 2-2. And Muncrief misses again with a fastball. Full count now. And he misses with the slider, and Schoendienst walks. And we have man on first and second. And I've really got to wonder how much longer the Pirates can keep going with Muncrief, because the tying run is now in scoring position. And we have to slow down a little bit here because we have Chuck Deering coming up. Runners on first and second. Deering not having the best of times this season. We're going to probably bunt with him. I think we leave him in the game and we bunt. And he takes a ball as he pulls that back. 1-0 the count, and there's one bunted to the mound, and Muncrief has to go to first base with it. So that's a productive way to use that out. Has to go to first. That brings up Joe Garagiola, who is hitless today. But Garagiola, of course, hitting .357 on the season with some power. I don't think we're going to pinch hit for him. I think we're going to have him out there and see what happens. So bottom of the ninth inning. And Deering gets the bunt down, and he does what he was supposed to. He uses his out productively. Here comes Joe Garagiola with a chance to tie it, if not to win it, if he really gets a hold of one. And there's ball 1 in there to Joe. Don't swing at the bad ones, Joe. And there's a fastball inside, and Joe Garagiola can't believe the call on that one, and he's got to be careful as he talks with that umpire. 17 hits for the Cardinals. Garagiola checks his swing on that one, and he went around according to that umpire, and 1-2 is the count on him now. One fouled away, 1-2 still. And 2-2 as that one just missed. Garagiola takes a slider in the dirt, full count. Here it goes. And Garagiola digs one out of the dirt to stay alive. He should have let that one go. Would have been ball 4 there, Joe. And is grounded over to Castiglione, and he makes the wide throw, and he is out on the tag play by Stevens at first base. And just like that, the Pirates advance to 9-0, and the Cardinals lose a heartbreaker here. And this was such a crazy game. This is one of the crazier games, I think, we've had so far in this season. And I know that it's only April still, but man, we've had a lot of great action so far. This one was wild. This one had everything. This one had drama. This one had come from behind comeback attempts by both teams. This one had that huge home run by Ralph Kiner. In the end, the Pirates remain undefeated. They're 9-0. They're just a hair ahead of the New York Giants, who are now 9-1. And this is turning into a really memorable National League pennant race. And man, oh man, this 1949 season is amazing, isn't it? 17 hits for St. Louis, only 14 for the Pirates, and the Pirates end up on top 10-9. What a crazy game. I hope that you enjoyed that one. I will see you tomorrow with more. Talk to you later. Bye.